Want to give your wheels top-notch protection? Well, stay tuned as we reveal how to professionally ceramic coat them with Wheel Armour by Gtechniq. I would dare say that all of us love a nice set of wheels on our vehicle. What we don't like, though, is the upkeep and the maintenance that comes with them so that they look new for a long period of time. Hi, I'm Tim Kennedy, and I'm the owner of Divergent Elite Detailing in McDonough, Georgia, and welcome to Ask Divergent. The mission of Ask Divergent is to equip those that are seeking to be the hero of the look and functionality of their automotive investment. Today, I'm going to equip you on how do you professionally ceramic coat wheels. I'll walk you through product and the process. The first thing you want to do is understand what it means to clean your wheels properly. We have put a separate video together that you can go and watch that walks you through the wheel washing process. Today, we've already done that. The wheel has been cleaned, so I want to start and pick up at that point. The wheel has been washed. Now we have it in here to coat. So let's talk first about the products that we will use, okay? This is Wheel Armour by Gtechniq. It is a wheel-specific ceramic coating. In our shop, the ceramic coatings that we use are to dedicated surfaces. We have paint ceramic, glass ceramic, trim ceramic, and we have wheel ceramic. So we will use that C5 Wheel Armour by Gtechniq. When you open the box, there are a few things that are in there. One is a set of gloves that you'll use. So you'll have gloves. The reason for the gloves is some to protect your hands, but other to protect you from getting body oils on the wheel as you're coating it. So what you don't want to do is handle the wheel, get oil on there that would impede or slow down the process or effectiveness of the ceramic coating getting into the wheel surface, okay? So you want to make sure that those contaminants are not present. So you have the gloves here, yeah, and in here you have applicators, okay? So you have particular types of applicators. We prefer other types. You can use these and they work effectively. They're a little bit cumbersome, to be honest with you, especially when you're getting in some of the crevices. So we prefer something that's a little more flexible that will go into tight areas that you can press it into and be sure that you get all the areas around, like your different spokes here. So you want to make sure that you're getting into all those areas. And it's a little less cumbersome of having to position yourself when you can reach it with something like this. So you want to use, this is brand new, has not been used. So you want to make sure that's ready. Then you want to have some ceramic coating removing rags. So these are rags that are microfiber. They are going to be very absorbent when you're removing the coating itself, because what you don't want to do when you're removing the coating is you don't want to leave high spots. Any residue that's left behind that you don't get off will actually leave a high spot on there. So you want to make sure that you get those areas removed. So you want to use the right rag. We use more than one. You have the initial rag that you're going to remove the initial residue with, and you're going to follow it up with a secondary towel to make sure that when you're wiping it down that you get everything off. You will notice that the more you wipe the surface, the brighter it gets, the more clarity that it brings to it. It's because you're effectively removing residue. A lot of times in ceramic coating applications that we see, there's a cloudiness that's left behind. Sometimes it's thought to be maybe it wasn't polished adequately, but then sometimes that cloudiness that you'll see left behind is from residue that was not effectively wiped off the surface when ceramic coating was applied. So we want to make sure that we tackle that. Prior to, and what you'll watch here in just a minute, before we start coating that, even though the wheel is clean, we had to pick it up and handle it. So it does have body oils on it from it being touched. So we're gonna take a product called Panel Wipe that is also by Gtechniq, and we wanna use that as a pre-ceramic wipe down. So we'll wipe down the entire surface inside and out with this to make sure that the surface is adequately prepped and that we're good to begin. It has a quick flash point, which means it dries very fast. So it's a product that's not going to leave moisture and things like that on the surface behind, like a lot of your other non-solvent based materials could or products could. So you want to make sure that you're putting something like this on that has a flash point that's quick, dries adequately. That way you know for certain that when you start applying the ceramic coating, you don't have any water residue. So after washing the wheel, you want to adequately dry it and then follow it up with this to do that final wipe down to make sure that the surface is prepped. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll go ahead and spray it on the surface. I would recommend spraying it on the towel, okay? One, you're gonna use less product over time, but then two, you can kind of control where it goes that way. So we're gonna come in and we're going to wipe. We'll start with the outer part of it. So doing the outer rim, then we're going to start working our way on the inside. For our team, one of the things I tell them is you got to detail a vehicle mentally before you do physically. And the reason being is because if you're in a hurry trying to get stuff done, and that's what happens a lot of times, especially on wheels, we don't take the time that's needed to adequately clean it effectively. And what we'll do is we'll leave these areas here in the back side of the wheel. We'll leave the spokes, especially the base here. One, because sometimes we don't have the necessary tools to clean it effectively. And we talk about that in the other wash video, showing you the tools that you can actually bend and wash in these areas here. So if I'm not checked in other words, I've got a quick minute, we keep doing that and prolonging it, and we're prolonging the amount of time that we're leaving this brake dust and what have you on the wheels. So we want to make sure that we're maintaining them well, so that when it comes to this point that, especially if you decide after you've had the wheel for a while that you decide, well, I think I want to ceramic coat them now. You know, we've taken wheels off of cars before and it was so etched, there was no need to do it because you could not effectively get everything off there. So we want to make sure we're getting all of this surface clean. So we're going to call the barrel pretty well wiped down. Now, I've done it with the wetness side. So now I want to go back, and like I mentioned earlier, it has a flash point, it dries fast, but I want to go back and just towel it off. Question that we get often is when it comes to ceramic coating matte finished wheels, you want to make sure that coatings that you put are not going to make the surface glossy. The majority of professional grade ones will not. It might enrich the color some. With the Wheel Armour, it may enrich the color, but it's not going to put a shiny finish on there, so it won't really alter it that much. All right, so that is the barrel. So what we'll do is we'll flip the wheel around and we'll do the facing. Okay, now we have the wheel flipped around, so we will do the wheel facing. And again, we are going through, and prior to putting ceramic coating on there, we want to make sure that the surface is adequately clean. So we're using a product called Panel Wipe by Gtechniq. And we've already done the barrel, so think ahead. Don't just go spraying again, because now you got to spin it back around and wipe the barrel out again. So spray it on your applicator, spray it on your rag as you're to progress as you wipe this off. So what we're doing again is just doing the final wipe down. I think we've been over the surface there. All right, so we're going to actually start ceramic coating the barrel of it. So we're going to turn it back around, and then we'll start the application of the ceramic. So now we're ready to start coating. So let's put on our gloves. And then I get our applicator, our 2 rags, and our product. Okay, again, we're using C5 Wheel Armour by Gtechniq, 2 rags, as we discussed, one for the initial wipe down and the other for the backup wipe. In other words, to go back and miss any high spots that we might have left behind. All right. There's no need to over wet your applicator. There's just no need for it. You don't want to go in and cake it in so much. You just want to adequately put a fine layer. Make sure you cover the surface, right? But you want to, there's no need to waste product and then create more of a mess or potential of leaving a high spot because you left some form of moisture behind. So we're going to go through and we're going to start here. We're going to get, I'm not touching on here, so I'm going pushing into that edge. I'm going to stop and wipe that weight down. So we have this all the way around. All right. Now I'm going to move in. I'm checking my surface to make sure that I'm adequately putting enough on there. All right, now I have towel number 1. I'm looking at flash point. So flash point, you'll see sweat beads, like little rows start to form of those, and you'll have like rows of them start to form. So we're watching for that. There are some coatings that are highly solvent based that if it says use 1 coat, you need to use 1 coat, because if you do more than one, with it being a high solvent base, you put 1 coat on there. Solvents are used as drying agents a lot of times. If you use a high solvent based coating and then you go back and put a 2nd coat when it says 1 is enough, you're going to diminish that 1st coat because the solvent itself will begin to break down the coating. Okay, so if it says 1 coating is sufficient, more is not better. Okay, stay with the 1 coating. You don't want to take a backward step in that. So I'm going to come back to our marker here. So that would be ceramic coating the barrel. So everything that we've put on there, we've adequately gone back and made sure it was taken off, okay? So we have in here a shiny and rich color that really looks good. The thing that we're really gonna love about it is how it makes maintenance so much easier. On here, a lot of times, all you have to do is go back and if you just keep them rinsed off. We use a pressure washer. I don't always have time to go in and adequately clean them. I don't want to half clean them, but I would like to rinse them off. So I'm periodically going to hit them with the pressure washer. So I'm going to go and keep that brake dust. Your German-based cars, your BMWs, your Mercedes, your Porsches, your different ones like that, oftentimes put off a lot more. Your Ferraris, they put off a lot more brake dust than typical cars do. So you want to make sure that you keep that clean. And we'll just, if I don't have time to wash it, I'll at least go hit it with the pressure washer and keep that surface. The thing that you're going to love about this is when you do that, you're going to notice how much easier it is as far as keeping them clean. So you'll appreciate that. So next, what we're going to do is we'll finish progressing like we have, and we'll make sure we do all of the spokes and get that covered. All right, put my applicator over here out of the way. All right, going back, here's rag number 1. All right. As you're wiping, you can see rainbows pretty much when you start wiping this off. So you're wanting to make sure that you remove any of that coloration that would be there. Part of that is the flashing process. Chemical-based dry times are called, it's flashing and curing. Water-based is evaporation. That's how it dries. Chemical-based dries from a process called gassing out. Starts with flashing, moves to curing, gases out to cure. Water-based evaporation. That's how it dries. Now you're going to want to wait about 24 hours or so, and then depending on the coating that you use, the wheel coating, they have certain dry times, you 12 to 24 hours, and then a period of time before you wash it. Like when we do ceramic coating on paint, there's a 12-hour cure time and then a 24-day process before you want to wash it again. Well, that, my friends, is a ceramic coating process. I'll continue off camera and I'll flip that around and get the facings done. If you've got questions about any aspect of your vehicle, it can be anything from polishing. It can be interior related questions. How do I have a new vehicle and I have kids. How do I protect the interior from stains, things like that? So any questions that you have, we would love to answer them for you. Here's how you can send us your questions. AskDivergent.com. Click on that, go submit your questions, submit that form to us. We'll follow up with an answer to you. And then two, possibly create a video with that content on there. As well, another option, give us a call, 678-310-3153. And again, I'm Tim Kennedy, the owner of Divergent Elite Detailing, and thank you for watching Ask Divergent. Be sure to like, be sure to share these videos, and help equip others as they want to be the hero of protecting the look and functionality of their automotive investment.